righty, welcome into the very first episode of Droppin Dimes, brought to you by Bettor and Green. I am Ethan. With me today is Wyatt. Wyatt, happy to have you here. This is our NBA show that we're looking to kind of test out here the rest of the NBA season, and then hopefully start next year from the jump, getting some NBA content out. Football is always king, but in the betting world, NBA seems to be somewhat king. There's a lot of NBA bettors out there. Well, Wyatt, happy to have you here. Happy to be starting our new show. How are you doing today?
I'm good. I'm a little nervous. Want to start the show off hot, but I've been struggling in the NBA. NBA is, I know you're doing pretty well. You're seeing it. I am struggling. Usually I mess around with NBA totals. That has not gone well. So I'm back to NBA spreads. But yeah, there's the pressure's on to start off the show hot. And hopefully I do. Don't feel great about these 3 games today, but sometimes that's the best feeling, like I say multiple times. But yeah, excited to start talking about NBA consistently, and hopefully we can win you guys some money, and hopefully we start the show off hot.
Yeah, I don't have much to live up to. My NHL first episode, I went 0-3. So if I win one game on our first NBA episode, I will be happy here. But yeah, we're just gonna get right into the plays, not waste a whole lot of time here. Wyatt, I'm gonna throw it over to you. What's the first play you're looking at here in the NBA tonight?
Yeah, first play, I'm going to be taking the Hawks at the +3.5 at the New York Knicks. Knicks have won the last 2 against the Hawks. Now they're at home. They're on the road both those games. Atlanta has lost 2 straight games. Brunson is questionable for the Knicks, so that might change the line by the time this game actually starts. But yeah, I think Atlanta wins it outright on the road. I think it's a little too obvious to take the Knicks. I am seeing quite a bit of the public money coming in on New York. So I think there's good value on the Hawks. I think they get it done. If you want to play it safe, just take the +3.5. But I think they ultimately win on the money line.
Yeah, I was looking at the Hawks too. They're not going to make one of my 3 plays, but definitely my lean in that game. I'm going to start a little bit close to home here, both with our home team and the state I'm in. I'm going to take the Heat to blow the Pistons out today. They're -11.5. I think they win and cover that. The Pistons are playing their second road game here. They have a quick Florida trip at the Magic and now at the Heat. Lost to the Magic, which is nothing new. They have 51 losses on the year. So obviously losing most every game they play. If this game were actually closer to where I was, I'd probably look at going to this game. I think it'd be kind of fun. I've been to one NBA game, but my main reason for liking the Heat in this one, believe it or not, the Pistons had a winning record at one point this season, 1-0 against the Miami Heat was their first game on the schedule, first win of the season. They've only gotten 8 more since then. But I think Miami kind of wants some revenge here at home. Way more to play for. They're way better now than they were at the beginning of the year. So yeah, I don't love laying big spreads in the NBA, but of all the sports to do it, that's the one that, teams win by 40, 30 points fairly often. So I think Miami just blows the doors off the Pistons tonight.
Yeah, no complaints from me fading Detroit. They have been covering those big point spreads recently, but yeah, I think Miami's going to take care of business. Speaking of 50 or big point spreads, Celtics yesterday won by 52 points. I had the -11, no sweat bet there. Moving on, I think my favorite play of the day, and I've been betting this team quite a bit. I know you have as well, but I'm going to take the Houston Rockets -7.5 tonight at home against the Spurs. The Spurs coming off 2 massive wins. They were at home. This is their first road game, but they beat the Pacers and then they beat the Thunder, 2 of the better teams in the NBA. And now they go and play the Rockets, who have one of the weirdest scheduling spots. The last couple of games, they played the Suns 3 times in 5 games, and then the 2 other games they played the Thunder. So weird spot for the Rockets. Hard to handicap them, but I'm honestly just fading the Spurs. 2 solid wins. Who's not going to take San Antonio at the +7.5 against Houston? These 2 teams have split the regular season series. The Spurs won in overtime at home, and then the Rockets won by 11 on the road. Both games were back in October and December, so no time recently. But yeah, I think the Spurs are hot. I think people are going to see that and take them at the +7.5. Seems very high. I'm going to take the Rockets. I think the Rockets win ultimately close to 10 to 15 points. So 7.5, I'm going to take them. Hopefully it works.
My next game, I feel like it's another team that we both like betting on quite a bit. I'm taking the Sixers on the road against Brooklyn, minus the 3 points, short number here. Sixers are kind of rolling. They've won 2 straight. They have this game on the road against Brooklyn before going back home for a couple games. So I think they're going to want just this little 2-game road trip sweep here. These teams just played last month, early February. The Nets won that game by 15 points, 121 to 136. So I know revenge is a super overused term in sports, but touch of a revenge game, I guess, if you will. These teams have a history too. It's just the players that they've swapped over the last couple of years. The proximity of locations for these teams. It's not a rivalry, but I just think it's the Sixers want to get kind of that revenge game on Brooklyn here. And then Brooklyn is playing their 3rd game in 4 nights, including a back-to-back. All games were at home, so they didn't have to travel throughout there. But, coming off a game last night where they played the Grizzlies in a loss, I think they could have some tired legs here. I think short number on the road. I'll take the Sixers to cover.
Yeah, I like that quite a bit. I was looking at that one as well. So it's funny how our brain works. We're always usually on somewhat of the same page. My last play is simply for my sanity. This slate would be a dream for my pre-All-Star break total betting. We have 5 games tonight in the teens or lower in the totals. Specifically, the lowest one, Magic Hornets, 207.5 is the total in that game. Celtics Cavs 215.5, Pistons Heat 217, Hawks Knicks 215.5, Sixers Nets 216.5. I originally would just love taking all those unders. I still might, but for my sanity, I'm just going to take the one game that should soar over, and that's the Pacers and the Mavs. The one game in the 240s is 245.5. Going to take that over. A lot of offense, not a whole lot of defense. So for my sanity, I'm going to take the over, because I know as soon as I start taking the over in those low-scoring games, it's going to be obvious that the under was the play. As soon as I take the sharp play on the under, they're going to soar over. So not going to mess around. Just going to take the over into teams that play 0 defense and have a lot of offense.
Well, you took your last play for your sanity. I'm going to take this one for mine. I know on our live that we did on Sunday morning, we both liked the Suns without D-Book. Didn't cover against the Thunder, but they are hitting the road today. They're playing in Denver. They're a 9.5-point road dog. I think that's just too many points here. I think they cover off 2 back-to-back losses at home on the weekend, Saturday and Sunday. I think when you're losing at home, the best thing to do is kind of take a quick road trip. This is just a one-off road game before coming back home. So I think they're going to want to kind of right the ship here on the road. They don't have the home fans, booing them or leaving early or some of that stuff that you get at your home games. So I like that they're on the road here. The Nuggets are off a road victory against the Lakers. So they had a kind of tough travel spot too after their last game. And then they have the Celtics on deck. So a huge matchup for them coming up. I think it's a bit of a look-ahead spot. Don't think they're going to be super worried about playing the Suns at home. I actually don't know if D-Book is still out or not. I assume he is. Well, guys, that is going to wrap it for our pilot episode of Droppin Dimes, brought to you by Bettor and Green.
You better start listening to the Bettor and Green podcast. You will not regret it. Trust me, trust me, trust me. And hey, I'm Dean Blandino.
Welcome to Bettor and Green, hey. To Bettor and Green, hey. To Bettor and Green, hey. Listen in and cash out. That's what it's all about. Come on, let's make cash now. We always on spot and we cover all spot from the bottom to the top. Hey, shout out to Ethan, shout out to Wyatt, shout out to Ben. Welcome to our podcast, Bettor and Green.